keep it neutral.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their fourth Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the six-time Super Bowl champs from the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the five-time Super Bowl champs from the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, excited for this one. I mean, Charles, the Steelers back in the Super Bowl once again, their 9th appearance overall, second only to the Patriots' 11. But if the Steelers win this one, then they'd be on top of the all-time win standings, as it would be their 7th title.
What a franchise. Come on, join me for a minute, okay? Come back to the 1970s with me. Back to the steel curtain defense. Back to Terry Bradshaw at quarterback. Throwing to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Franco Harris running the football with Rocky Blyer. That team was something, all right? And that started the path to where we are right here, right now. This team's pretty good, too. And they want their own history. What an accomplishment this would be to win a 7th Super Bowl title for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys have had some ups and downs since their last Super Bowl appearance, but they're back for the 9th time, trying to win number 6 and tie the Patriots and Steelers. For the Cowboys, their last Super Bowl title quite a while ago, January of '96.
And those were great teams. Jimmy Johnson was their head coach. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, all Hall of Famers. They were known as the Triplets. But then you go further back to those great teams in the 70s, led by Hall of Fame coach Tom Landry, Roger Staubach at quarterback, Tony Dorsett at running back. Those were great teams as well. This one, trying to create their own identity.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak Prescott leading the Dallas Cowboys into the Super Bowl. And Craig Morton, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and now Dak Prescott, the 4 Cowboy quarterbacks to start a Super Bowl. The other 3, all Super Bowl champs. Now the question, can Dak Prescott follow in their footsteps? Prescott on first down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. First down, Prescott throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And now it's second down. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Completes it to Jason Witten. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Ben Roethlisberger leading out the Steelers, and Ben making his 4th Super Bowl appearance. He and the Steelers winners in Super Bowls 40 and 43 before falling to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Super Bowl 45. All told, Ben with 3 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions in those 3 appearances. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Conner here on 1st. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. With the 1st touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Check it back, check it back.
On the counter, Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Prescott from the gun, sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And this will be taken at the 13. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They start the drive with Connor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Robert Quinn gets to the quarterback as well as any defensive end in the league. A lot of it goes back to his high school wrestling background. He understands leverage and hands as well as anyone.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He can run for it, and he will. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first. Big Ben with his size, sometimes it still surprises me when he can dance for a first.
He's the preeminent quarterback at taking contact, shedding it, and turning it into a big play. You know what they say about him? It's not the first 3 seconds of the play that you worry about with him. It's the next 3. Takes the hit, and now he creates a big one.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 47 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And
oh, Prescott stripped.
on plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Prescott now under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. T.J. Watt in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. (14-0) the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
There nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. On 1st and 10 is Counter. A nice little juke. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Connor. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Boswell for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with Elliott, and they'll get him down right around the 16. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the 16, Prescott got an open man, the tight end Jarwin. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And Forbath will put this one through. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ely, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
And that's a Super Bowl record, his 4th sack of the game. I think we got to start thinking seriously about making him the Super Bowl MVP as well.
I think you're right. With him leading in the driver's seat, he certainly has a shot. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Forbath will put this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger will hand the counter. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards. They just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Counter on first down, working his way forward for about 4 yards. Second down coming up. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Again, a run with counter. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
230. 44. Hey, alert.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here's Jordan Berry now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's Elliott. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Elliott. The 20. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 49 yards. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get this score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Forbath, the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll let this go for the end zone. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
They go to Elliott again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Prescott throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but now it'll be 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Now Prescott on 4th down. He'll buy some time right. He may try. Oh, Prescott stripped. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Connor. Fighting through, and he's got space. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Prescott gets this to the tight end, Jarwin. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot. SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS. SOS alert. Right there.
Here's Roethlisberger. Rolling to his right. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing. Prescott. And that's Elliott. Complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Prescott to throw it.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's up to 7 for 7 now on this drive alone. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On 2nd and 9, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 11-yard line.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.